motherfucker! Hello, everybody!
You're on my map! Move your feet!
Part 8. Hate? Part 8. There we go. I can sprechen.
The English?
English.
Mais
So,
pouvez-vous parler le français?
I don't speak Frenchanese. That's frog language.
Why is it always frog?
I don't know. Ask the English.
Why is it always frog?
I'm not English, I'm Irish.
Yeah, they're all the same.
They are not the same. They are the furthest thing from the same.
Irish, Scottish, English. Hey, it has a glass friggin' Christmas bulb. Give it back. Bad joke.
Not the same. Anyways, you and your companions were all trying to quietly make your way up the hill towards the tower that supposedly has a dragon.
You know, because quiet is all we can do. Because, you know, it's not like the dragon can fucking hear us.
If it's asleep, it might not. And that's the only thing you can really hope for, is that it's asleep.
Chris, stop being a spaz. I am the eating pad. You don't get it. That's how this works. She's mad at me.
Yep. So, I'm going to make a very simple roll here. I'm not sure how everybody else deals with this section of the module, but frankly, I think everybody else gives the dragon not enough credit for the fact that it's a fucking dragon. So the only thing you have going for you is one thing, and one thing only. This dragon's passive perception is 14. This dragon is going to be aware of you guys coming close to it, except for your character, because you made a high enough check. The only thing that's going to work in your favor is if the damn thing is sleeping. And dragons have a tendency to spend a lot of time sleeping. Now, it's still fairly early in the day.
Given the fact that it's been hunting so much, it's probably a female.
So I'm going to give you that percentage chance that the damn thing is sleeping. And I rolled an 8. That thing is asleep. So you have that working for you. So you don't have to worry about the dragon's lair actions impeding you before you get there.
Okay, movie?
So, as you guys approach a little bit closer, you can see this looming tower come into view. And the tower itself is fairly tall in comparison. It's still got most of its ability to, or most of its area still intact. It's 40 feet high at the top, so
it's tall.
It's still pretty tall. Tybalt looks over at your character and is whispering, I'm going to try climbing the outside of it.
Why?
Top-down support, repelling blast. If it tries to take off, I can force it back onto the ground.
Gotcha.
Tybalt is going to try to make his way over to the tower and make a climb check to climb up it. Now, what are the rules on climbing?
Probably just acrobatics.
It's most likely just an athletics check, but I'm not sure how fast you climb it. I think you only classifies as difficult terrain. Climb. Climb, climb, climb. Not spider climb. He's not casting that. He doesn't have that spell. Section 8. Jumping, climbing. Movement and position. Climbing, swimming, and crawling. Every foot is twice the distance.
So half speed.
Yeah, you effectively move half speed. And considering the nature of how this thing is being slowly breached apart and is degraded because of nature taking it over again, it's not going to be that difficult to actually climb the exterior of the wall. It's not like it used to be back in its prime when it was smooth and well crafted and put together. It has had decades of overgrowth and vines and leaves and sapperlings and things
Saprolings?
going into the mortar and
Saprolings.
sorry, trying to break it apart. So there's handholds. So I'm going to make it medium difficulty for him to actually climb it. Athletics check, 19 on die, plus his 5. So
He's fine.
he can easily climb it. He gets 15 feet. He has to go 30 feet or 40 feet. So it's going to take him 2-3 rounds to get to the top. Your barbarian friend, although seeing that, he's not being the typical barbarian. He's not going to just rush in and start making a bunch of noise. You see him go over by the door and he waits for Tybalt to get to the top of this exterior. So he's basically got one arm secured on the top of it and he's just kind of resting on it, supporting his weight with his whole arm and shoulder. The barbarian, seeing that, is then looking to go inside the door that leads into this tower.
I'm preparing a spell.
What one?
What would you suggest? Either...
Your most damaging spell.
I was gonna say, either Moonbeam or Leaf Tide, since I do have plenty of leaves around me.
Yep, there are lots of leaves, and even
50,
inside there would be leaves.
50 foot, dex save, for half, 5d6.
And how much does Moonbeam do?
2d10.
5d6 is slightly more damage, and a higher ratio of your average damage. I would go with that. The barbarian looks over at your character. Be in position. The barbarian tries to whisper to you. Tybalt gives you a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm good.
Barbarian is opening up the door, quietly going in, and you see him immediately when he opens up the door.
Leaf Tide 50 foot, is that my range or its area?
That's 50 feet away. The barbarian opens up the door and immediately goes down on his belly. Because I touched her ear.
You're such a little diva with your ears.
So he immediately goes prone. He goes on his stomach. And you see him start to crawl along the ground, heading towards another door on the eastern wall. What's your character doing?
I'm gonna follow, but there's no way in hell I'm making myself prone to do so. I'm gonna be quiet.
Make a stealth check then. And where are you going inside the room?
I think I'm good.
Where are you going inside the room?
On the other side of it. Stop wagging me! Down a little bit. Right there.
So just on the other side of the door.
Yeah, I want to be able to cast in, but still have cover.
Jason's just going to there. He's just barely stepping inside the door. The barbarian, once he gets to the door, is quietly standing up, opening up the door just a little tiny bit so he can peer in. When he peers in, you see a mound of coins, and you see a green dragon curled up on the coins. Green dragons look like that.
What a green dragon looks like.
All curled up in its serpentine nature in the middle of its hoard. And its hoard is fairly big. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coins. And the whole place is just, again, it's covered in a decrepit stairwell that's for the most part disheveled. You can see pieces of stonework here and there. It's got lots of places for half cover, quarter cover. It's got lots of places for the dragon to jump around to try to jump and get some height. And enough wingspan is still at his disposal. He could take flight and leave if you want to.
looking over at Jason, waiting for his illusion before I.
Jason is going to try to get to here so he can see what's going on inside the room. And he rolls really good, actually, so he doesn't wake the dragon up. As you can see, the dragon's entire chest cavity, expand and slowly contract as the thing seems to be in a nice deep slumber. And this thing's mouth is the size of your whole body. This thing is impressive looking in the size. It's got to be 15 to 20 feet long, not including its tail. This is not something your character's going to take lightly. Your character has this deep, sunken feeling in the pit of your stomach. If this is not handled perfectly, you are going to be food.
What are you doing? What?
Your character gets that sensation that you are food if you do not handle this properly. Absolutely properly. No mistakes, no fuck ups. You're going to be food. The slightest little screw up, you guys are going to get eaten. Now you're
Jason's
lucky.
next to me, right?
You are lucky on the fact that because this thing is classified as young, that it doesn't have a frightful presence as of yet.
Jason's next to me, right?
Correct.
I'm handing him 4 good berry. Doing this?
He takes them. And Jason is going to cast Phantasmal Force above him, and then follow it up with a Quickened Silver Spear.
When I see him casting a second spell, I'm letting go my leaves.
So you guys get the immediate. As soon as that Silver Spear strikes him, Tybalt is also unleashing hell, so to speak. He's letting go a freaking Eldritch Blast to hit him. It's the only thing he can do from a distance.
And I have 5d6.
So first thing I'm doing is the Phantasmal Force. So I need to do this one thing at a time, so just bear with me. I believe the Phantasmal Force, I said, is a intelligence save.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as soon as my turn comes, this thing takes 5 damage, or 1d6 damage. Just need to double check that it is, in fact, a intelligence save.
You said it was.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be absolutely sure. It's only in the mind of the creature, so it's not anybody else that's within range. Intelligence saving throw. So, Monster Manual. Saving throws. Conveniently enough, the young green dragon does not have a saving throw for proficiency in intelligence saving throws. And what is Jason's DC to resist? 13. 7 plus 3, 10. The green dragon falls victim. He believes there is a magical eldritch storm above him that's going to be shooting down eldritch blasts at him.
Doesn't help that.
Part of the reason why it's there. You won't notice Tybalt up there.
Shooting, eldritch blasts at him.
Exactly. That's the reason why Jason did it that way. So, that's done. And now I'm casting Silver Spear. So once I find it, then the two of us will be able to cast it. So I've used 6 mana. And it is an attack roll for 3d10 damage. So grab your magic attack, roll it.
Why?
Because you're casting the leaf one, aren't you?
Yeah.
My bad. So I have a +5 to this attack roll, I believe. Yep, +5.
I have Silver Spear, but I don't prep it because he has it.
15 plus 5 is 20. Armor class is that. That's a hit. This is good for you guys. 3d10 damage. 17 damage. Obviously it wakes the dragon up, and you're casting Leaf what?
Leaf Tide.
What book?
BOLS. Dex save for half of 4 or 5 d6.
Considering how nature's taking this place over, there is leaves in here. Remember how I've been saying how it's been left to nature and such? Tide. Dex saving throw negates. One pile leaves within range.
Mine says dex save for half. Are you looking at Leaf Fall or Leaf Tide?
Oh, it's weird. It says Leaf Tide, and you're casting what?
Leaf Tide, but there's also Leaf Fall.
Yeah, Leaf Fall just exposes things. Leaf Tide does one pile of leaves within range, rises up in a wave, and engulfs a creature you can see. Creature takes 5d6 bludgeoning damage or half damage with a successful dexterity saving throw. The saving throw says dex/negate effect, so there's a typo here. So I'm going to go with the dex for half because that's what most spells are, considering it's trying to engulf you. So
that's bludgeoning. Unless it means
grab
it
your
negates
5d6.
half.
Grab your 5d6 because either way you're getting some damage out of it, and I just have to make a dexterity save versus your DC of 13.
Yes.
So he'll get half damage.
I'm just gonna roll this 5 times.
Sure.
I don't trust your dice. They kill me. Give me the strict ones.
How much damage?
24.
So you rolled pretty much nothing but 5s.
I rolled a 6, a 6, a 6, a 5, and something. But I remember 6, 6, 5.
Okay, so that's the surprise round almost done. Tybalt is attacking with an Eldritch Blast. Tybalt hits with an Eldritch Blast for 1d10 damage. 8 damage.
Don't make fun of her.
You are really, really itchy. And she growls at me because I made fun of her. You mad at me? And wow, you guys have really boot fucked this fucking dragon already.
I can get any whore I want, and then when I get back to Phandelver.
If you kill this thing, I'm hoping you don't kill it, to be honest. So that's that done. Now it goes to the actual initiative, because that was like long range surprise attacks. Because he got startled awake, he's not getting he's going to have a disadvantage on a saving throw because the barbarian is already ready to rush in. And he got startled awake, so he's going to have a disadvantage on his initiative check, which gives him an initiative of 6.
19.
Give a 19. Tybalt has, ooh, yes, 21. Jason has a 14. And your new barbarian ally, at least for the time being, has 16. So Tybalt gets to go first. Eldritch Blast. Tybalt's going to hold his action for a repelling blast if the thing manages to take flight. So that way I can knock its ass back down. So that's what Tybalt's doing. He's effectively holding for the moment. It goes to 19. You're up. Actually, no, it doesn't go to you.
Why?
It goes to the lair.
The what?
Dragons have lairs. Lairs have special magical effects that can do things. And they go on initiative 20. So almost always first. And what you're noticing is all on the ground around you, the barbarian, and Chasen, roots and vines are erupting centered around you guys. And A, it's turning into difficult terrain. You have to make a strength saving throw or be restrained. So make for me a strength save.
I coughed.
Chasen is restrained. You are not restrained, nor is Uthgrim. A creature can be freed if another one takes another DC to check to it, or return vulnerable to right. So it's basically entangle. If you want to move out of this area, you're going to have to move twice your movement speed to get out of it. And it's all centered on you guys in a 20-foot kind of burst. And considering this is only 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot, and he put it basically here, 10 foot to 10 foot, 10 foot to 10 foot. So just this whole area is engulfed in it.
Could have just said the whole food. Right. I go?
And no, that's the first thing. He's free, you're free, he's stuck, half movement. Now it is. Now that I've had that cemented in my head as to who's got what.
Okay, so werewolf.
What do you want to do?
Leaf tide.
You want to do another leaf tide? You still have the mana for it?
Mm-hmm.
It's 5d6 damage, and I have to make a dex save. Which he does. 17 plus 4, 21, so he gets half damage. Wow, another really good roll.
6, 6, 6, 3, 2.
So 22 is 11 damage. And it goes to, after your go, are you trying to move, or are you just staying right where you are?
What's that thing about check something something?
What?
To help Jason?
You'd have to take your actual action to do that. You've already taken your action. You can move if you want to.
What's the purpose?
You're just going to stay kind of hunched around the corner there?
Yeah.
Okay. After your go, it switches over to Uthgrim with a 16. He is not restrained, so he's going to rush the dragon. And it's only going to take him 20 feet to get there. Once he rushes the dragon, he has a few things he can do. He wants the armor class, so that's why he's utilizing his shield. He has a battle axe, so he's going to attack with the battle axe. He's also going to rage, as well as use the reckless attack. I think raging doesn't take an actual action to start it. If it does, that's stupid. I'm going to sit here and work myself up into a rage.
You don't have to work yourself up into a rage if you're already predispositioned to be angry.
I know. You can enter a rage as a bonus action, so he's good. So he gets an additional 2 damage. I have reckless attack, so first attack I can take a advantage on the attack roll. And that's it. So advantage on the attack roll. My attack roll for this guy is +5, and I get an additional 2 extra damage should I hit. Advantage on the attack roll is highly beneficial. Especially when I roll a 19 on one of them. So that's not a critical, unfortunately, but it is a successful hit for 1d8 plus 5 damage. 7 plus 5 is 12 damage.
How's the dragon looking?
He's looking bloodied. He's already looking like he's been injured. And that was Uthgrim's turn. He doesn't have a second attack, unfortunately, not a second wind, but he doesn't have the extra attack. So after Uthgrim goes, it goes to Chasen with a 14. Can't. It's my turn, so it's not his turn, so he suffers a d6 damage, automatic, from the phantasmal force. And I'm sorry, but I just need to kill this thing, so Silver Spear. Jason's going to cast Silver Spear. Bringing me up to 9 mana used. Plus 5 to hit. Yes! 3d10 damage. It's only 14. This thing is looking severely injured at this point. And then Jason will take a move action. Oh, wait, he's entangled. He can't take a move action. Fuck. Okay, so Jason can't do that. Hopefully this thing doesn't try to stick around for a fight. It goes to the dragon's turn. First thing it's doing, there's a couple things it wants to do. There's a barbarian right in front of it. There's spellcasters in the room there that have been entangled.
There's a storm above its head.
There's a storm above its head. Fuck. What the hell would it do?
Shit itself. Try and reason. They can talk, can't they?
Yeah, but once you attack a dragon, especially when they get down to this many hit points, their reaction is to not talk, it's to run.
Yeah, but he can't run at this point. Wouldn't he talk?
He doesn't know he can't run. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do. And he's not stupid. He sees a raging barbarian in front of him. So I think that's what he's going to attempt to do. Raging barbarian, he's aware, has a weakness to being attacked. He's going to attempt to effectively do a shove technique on Uthgrim. He's basically going to try to take his hand and just hold Uthgrim down, using it as a bartering tool. Because he's assuming that you guys are a roaming band of allies, and that he can, maybe talk his way out of things. Because they're not stupid, and he'll have the advantage on his check here, giving him a 16. Uthgrim can make a athletics check.
You know, that is unless Uthgrim chunks his hand to pieces from the inside out.
And Uthgrim avoids being grappled. He will then take his movement action to take flight. He will risk it. He will risk flying through this thing. To which point that triggers Tybalt's held action, repelling blast. Oh, Tybalt would have an advantage on this attack roll as well because he doesn't know he's there. That's a hit. The moment he tries to take flight, not only does he take, holy fuck, he takes 10 damage, but he's also knocked back down onto the ground. Enough! What is it the lot of you want? Treasure? We can share. That's what it's taking for its turn. The last little bit of his turn. To try to talk now. Offering up part of his treasure. Goes to Tybalt's turn.
Eldritch Blast. Or is he holding?
Eldritch Blast is a d10 damage. Tybalt's going to drop on top of him. Over the side, aim for him, land if you can, and if he does, Arms of Hadar.
This dragon's dying.
Athletics check. Made. Now, Tybalt's going to take some damage from the fall. Tybalt takes... That's actually not much. He only takes 8 damage from the fall. That's an acceptable amount of damage.
Okay, you make it sound like you could unaccept the damage. Like, no, that is not acceptable. I will not take it.
I refuse. I do not accept. And then he's going to cast Arms of Hadar. that's the one that needs close range. Strength saving throw or take 2d6 necrotic damage. Dex, con, whiz, chop. Conveniently enough, he doesn't have a dex or strength saving throw. But he makes it.
So what? He still gets damage. It's not necrotic.
Takes half damage.
But it's not necrotic?
It's still necrotic. Half of that would be 4 damage.
Well, 9.
Roll an 8. So that is Tybalt's turn. Oh wait, I got an extra one because my bad. 8, 10. It's an extra point of damage. I forgot that he's cast his spells as a second level slot. That was Tybalt's turn. It goes to your turn.
Oh, Jason's
We
trapped.
can discuss things. And all you're hearing from the dragon as it goes to your turn is he's trying to generate you guys to talk to the dragon.
I'm looking at Jason for a cue. Leaves.
Dex saving throw. 5d6. You're keeping track of your mana, yes?
Yep. This is my third spell I cast.
Okay.
This one. Fuck. 25.
Another max damage roll almost. So 24, so 12 damage. We can discuss things like civilized creatures. What are you doing? And after you go, it goes to Uthgrim. Rage. Drop the shield, grab the hand axe.
Slice.
Shrink. And he's going to attack with reckless attack, so he has the advantage on the attack roll with both of his weapons.
No offense to Uthgrim, we don't really care about him right now. He's a barbarian. He wants to, defend his tribe. Doesn't care if he dies. Says he's a barbarian.
Successful hit. Hand axe. Critical hit. Look at that. Advantage on the attack rolls. 20, 19. So my battle axe and my hand axe. My hand axe is a critical hit. Nice. And because he has 2-weapon fighting, because he has a couple levels of fighter, he adds the ability damage to the second weapon as well. So this plus 5, this plus 5, so he's getting 10 damage automatic plus this. So 10, 15, 15 plus 7, 2d6, right? Most common number. 15 plus 7 is 22. The dragon actually hits the ground and is breathing heavily.
I'm looking up at Tybalt, knowing he has a mace.
Tybalt's grabbing the +1 longsword that he's got, the Talon blade, and just starts stabbing this dragon right on the back of the head. And Uthgrim is just going crazy with the axes on this thing's face as well, trying to basically chop the head off right around here.
And my dragon is left to its own devices.
And Jason tries to break, and he's like, fucking, and the vines start to rot and fall off.
And because I'm a dragon, and I just killed effectively another dragon, my dragon's into the horde.
Aye! You hear from Jason. Kieran! Wait!
What?
Traps! Would you not protect your horde? Jason's walking over to your character, puts his hand on your shoulder. The horde is ours. Pats you in the side of the head. What?
I want to skin him and take his horde.
Okay. He turns you so you're facing him. Let's take a moment and analyze what we've just done here. We killed a fucking dragon. Do you get this, Kieran? We just killed a dragon.
want? A hug?
For starters, that would be nice.
What?
We're not dead. We actually killed a fucking dragon and we're not dead. Now let's go check out the horde. We're splitting it 4 ways. Uthgrim helped. If he wants any, he's entitled to it. Right? As he looks at your character.
Mm-hmm. As long as I get some of the hide.
Yeah, I'm sure you can have some of the hide. Uthgrim brings himself out of his rage. This thing's head is pretty much chopped right off. Tybalt drops down, puts the sword away. Uthgrim just kind of sits on its muzzle snout. Your character's going towards the horde.
Not until Jason goes.
Jason starts to walk towards it slowly.
He makes me cautious.
You weren't supposed to kill it.
I'm sorry?
It was supposed to run away when it hit half hit points.
I'm sorry?
You guys used tactics, so it couldn't run away. God damn it. I really wanted to kill you all there. It only got 1 attack. It only got 1 fucking attack. So what you're looking at is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of silver pieces. You do see gold scattered amongst it to about 1 to 4. And amongst it, you also find this trove of old books, and you can find lots of silver and the occasional gold. About every 4 pieces of silver, you'll find 1 piece of gold, roughly. And what else are you doing? Uthgrim is just looking at the dragon and starts to pry out one of its teeth.
Wants maybe one of those?
Pries out another one of its teeth and passes it over to you.
Stuff. Looking at Uthgrim, what do you say we start skinning this fucker?
My tribe is avenged. Is the skin worth a lot of money? There's a city not far from here.
Oh yeah, one of these skins will get you a good bit of money in any whore you want.
I will start skinning it. I do want my fair share of that treasure. So what do we do? Do we sort it now, or do we finish clearing out these ruins you hear from Tybalt?
Well, we're pretty safe in this. It's pretty closed off. We could barricade it, get this sorted with. Because if there's going to be plant monsters and zombies, they're going to come from that noise.
Yeah, this is not quiet.
No matter what, they're going to come from that noise. So us sitting in here counting and waiting will tell us if there are zombies.
Brissa! She's the reason why those things are broken. She's so rough on them.
Anyways.
But then if we barricade it, we're just stuck in here.
Yes, but you don't want to be out there with a horde. A horde is easier to take on from inside a building.
We can bottleneck it as he points to the door. Alright. Tybalt goes and shuts the 2 doors. Make sure they're good and secure. And you guys are going to start sorting the coins?
Yeah, I'm going to help him start skinning it because there's no way we're going to take a whole fucking dragon.
No, you skin it as best as you can. It's going to take you a while to skin it. Jason is going through and trying to sort coins as best as he can. Just throws it over to a pile like silver, 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 gold, silver, silver, gold, silver, gold, silver, silver. He's just tossing it all into one area. Give me 1 second to check some things. Notes. After you guys are about halfway done skinning part of its main chest, you see Jason. Well, this is mine. And you see him holding up a book.
What is it?
An old spell book. Shuts it, puts it into his backpack right away. Goblet, tosses it over to the side.
I don't think any of us are really fancy enough for a goblet.
Tybalt comes in and continues to help sort things as you guys continue to help skin. By the time you guys get the whole front, the whole chest and shoulder area done, you see Jason, Kieran, Uthgrim. You see him hold up an axe. Uthgrim walks over. Yoink. I will take this as part of my share.
Is it one of your people's?
No. Fine construction, though. I'll take this as part of my share. Hooks it onto the side of his belt, stuffing it through the girdle. As you guys get about halfway through the belly of the dragon,
You already said we were halfway through the belly and
the
shoulders.
chest.
Yeah.
You got this part done. You're now going through here, the abdomen.
I'm looking at it. Can I get one of the wings?
What do you mean wing?
See how he has that membrane in the wing?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have that?
Yes. He'll go over and with the hand axe start chopping off some of the membrane.
Tell me that's not an awesome cloak.
That would make a really awesome cloak.
Looking at the other girl too. Do you guys want dragon skin cloaks?
You see from Jason, I don't want a cloak. I want enough to wrap my spellbook in it. It's waterproof. It's better than wrapping it in 4 layers of leather.
Then we'll get you a cloak and that. There's plenty of wing. It's huge.
As you guys continue skinning it, around supper time, you guys are still skinning it, you can actually hear something from outside.
What is it?
You hear sounds of shambling.
Oh, son of a bitch.
It looks like you have attracted, the noise has attracted other things towards you. As you're hearing about a half a dozen things outside that have moved towards your location. And they're now basically at your door trying to get in. About a half a dozen of them. Uthgrim stands up. I can only rage once more before I need to rest.
Before anything happens, are you the type of barbarian that allows for healing?
If I did not, how would I live to see another battle?
Magical healing.
How would I live to see another battle if I did not?
There's tales of some that just let their wounds close naturally.
I'm not opposed to scars. But today is not a good day to die. My tribe has been avenged. I want at least one night with a woman first. You are welcome to heal me, Druid.
Last thing I need is a raging barbarian hitting me for healing him.
Tybalt looks over. Alright, so what do we do? Draws his sword.
Readying. Open the door. Let the fire quills. Repeat process. They're slow and stupid.
Yeah, but if I open the door,
Crack.
they're gonna get in.
kind of climbing up and just.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Well, how about this? We open the door. You quill, and we try to, Uthgrim, you have a shield. You in front. I'll be off to your side, and you get in front as well. We'll create a shield wall with you two.
Or do you want to take the shield?
I can't use shields.
Okay.
I'll sit in behind and I'll just blast, and when possible, use my spears. He puts his sword away and grabs his spear.
Why don't you use your sword?
With you and Uthgrim in front of me, I won't have the range to use the sword.
Don't want to risk it.
The spear, I can go around you guys.
Uthgrim, would you be opposed if he took a couple javelins that are off your back?
That is why they're there.
Got that? Take his and run out.
Feel free to use them, little red man. My name is Tybalt. Red man. As he grabs the shield, grabs the new battle axe. And you guys are going to the door.
Will.
1 second. Let's see here. That dragon is dead.
Good and dead. And half naked.
Yeah, considering you've skinned his entire upper section and most of his midsection.
Yeah, we've got all the wing membrane. Horses are going to be loaded down with stuff.
Yeah, the horses don't care. So Uthgrim is going to be standing in front of the door along with your character, and your guys are going to use your shields to kind of create a wall. Tybalt is going to stand in behind you guys, and, well, Jason is just going to stay really far in the back, so that way he can't get hit. And you guys are going to open up the door. When you open up the door, what you see in front of you is
Zombies.
Zombies, but they don't look like normal zombies. They are normal in their body shape and their rotted flesh and the clothes and such tattered and hanging off of them. But they seem to have this slick, oily substance, like a slime of some type, dropping and dripping off of their body. And it's pretty much coated them completely. It still looks like a zombie.
What
It
does
just
it smell
looks
like?
rotted flesh. And the slime has the same kind of color as some fruits. Like, that kind of nice dark brown, black texture that olives have? Yeah, that's the color of the slime that's covering their bodies.
Jason, is this flammable?
Jason will make a Arcana check to see if he knows, beard hair, what these things is.
Because you described oil, so my character's going, I don't want to hit this way, and it's going to go boom.
I don't know. To me, they look like zombies.
I see oil, be careful.
Last thing we need is flaming zombies, you hear from Tybalt. But with 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, I do need you guys to make initiative checks.
Even though we're starting the attack?
Yeah, you're opening the door, but they're banging on the door. They're just
20.
sitting there waiting. They're waiting for an opportunity to actually get in. D20. Jason has a 19. Tybalt has a 9. The enemies. And your new ally, Uthgrim. You go first. Immune to. What are you doing? Quills?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which 2 are you targeting? Because they're all basically just on top of each other trying to get in.
The 2 closest.
So one of these 3?
2 of those 3, but yes.
Yeah. So
the one right in front of the door, and I guess the one. Yeah, where am I and where is
you?
Uthgrim? I'm going to hit the one on my side then.
This one?
And the other
this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
They each have 3 quills.
Okay. They have that many hit points. Because they're zombies, it's, again, as always, near impossible to actually tell, i.e., undeads don't react to pain. And Fiergo goes to Chasen. Jason does not want to waste his magic at the moment, considering I only have 5 left. Firebolt.
I only have 5 left too.
I don't want to waste my big spells if I don't have to. Firebolt. I will target one of the ones in the back. Actually, no, I'll have. It's bad enough these guys in the front have half cover because you guys are all in the way, so I'll target the one in the middle. One of the ones you hit for 3. Critical hit! Yeah! Critical hit with a firebolt. Yeah! Holy shit, near maximum damage. Look at this. 9, 18. 18 plus 8, 26. 26 plus 7,
Since
33.
when did you start rolling my rolls?
Out of game, Firebolt. They have a vulnerability to fire, so I get critical damage. I got a critical hit.
Even though I warned him, I don't want him on fire.
Firebolt.
Seriously, I'm gonna smack Jason as soon as.
I don't want them on fire. Yeah, flaming zombies would be bad. Firebolt. Fuck you guys.
That's exactly what it was. That was, holy crap, a lot of zombies. Panic. First spell I could think of. Oh yeah, I have acid splash.
Yeah, but that only does a d6 damage. Firebolt does a d10. Is you going to scream at him or anything?
Whack! Whenever it's done.
You do, however, see that the zombie he hit, this guy right here, one that's right in the middle, collapses.
Does it ignite?
No, it just seems to legitimately melt in a pool of slime and oil. Like the only thing holding it together as a cohesive creature was that. However, though, another zombie immediately crawls over his puddle of a friend and gets in that same spot. Fire seems to be a weakness for them, is all you hear from Chasen.
We'll discuss that later.
Really? We said we don't want flaming zombies, and what do you do? Is all you hear from Tybalt. For Chasen, it goes to Uthgrim. Uthgrim has his shield up. He is going to, with shield up, just make an attack with the axe. Since there's a whole bunch of them right next to him. He's not raging. I'm not... Actually, you know what? I will attempt a reckless attack against these bastards. I want to hit. I don't know how hard they are to hit, so... Reckless attack. Boom! Glad I did that. 14 plus 5 plus the plus 1 from the axe, so plus 6. That's a 20 in total. That's a successful hit. A d8 plus 4 damage. 9 damage. 9 damage. One of them takes a decent hit. Nothing seems to happen. Just give me 2 seconds. Need to check on some of the details about this creature. And it goes to Uthgrim's second ability, which is Shield Master. Bonus action to shove a creature, add shield AC to dex saves. So he will then also attempt to make a shove to try to push him out of the area to slow him down a bit. So try to knock the zombie he just hit back onto his ass. Strength check, natural 20, made. This zombie is now prone because he knocked it on its ass. Just so that way you know. And after Uthgrim goes, it goes to Tybalt's turn. Put that there temporarily. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just starting to get all congested. I don't know why. pull this up as this might be the cause.
What is this? Ah, yeah, the moss. It very well might be. So, with Tybalt's turn, he's just going to take the spear and attempt to impale one of them. Stabby, stabby. He can't hit the one that Uthgrim hit because Uthgrim knocked it to the ground, so he's just going to make a stabby, stabby check.
Water like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah. That's a hit. Spear does a d6 plus 3 damage. We're looking at a measly 6 damage. As Tybalt hits one. Tybalt's holding his position. It goes to the enemy's turn. Well, right off the bat, the one that's prone, standing up for his move action. This one is trying to come in. This one is trying to come in.
Why is there one way over the middle? Buttfuck nowhere.
Because he's the one that's dead.
Oh.
He's the one that's a puddle on the ground.
So you just move the puddle miraculously?
I just did it so that way it's simpler for me to move things around. So 2 of them can actually get into the doorway and attack. One, obviously, there's 2 of you. They're attacking, so one is going to attack you. The other one is going to attack Uthgrim. So what is your armor class
16.
again? 16, and has a plus 3 to hit. So plus 3 to 16, 13. 9, that's a miss. Uthgrim has a 17. They need a 14 or higher. 14 is a hit.
Am I able to help him at all considering our shields are touching?
No. You have to actually take
That
your action.
sounded dirty.
You actually have to take your action if you want to do that and create the shields to the phalanx. So d8 plus 1 damage to Uthgrim. Oh wait, I have to re-roll that. That doesn't matter because they had an advantage on their attack roll. So 6 damage to Uthgrim, which doesn't really hurt him too much, considering he has 37 hit points. And make a wisdom saving throw, which he does not have a proficiency in, so he only has a plus 1.
He literally will heal that amount of damage overnight.
Make a perception check for me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have? Perception. If you don't have the perception skill, you use your wisdom modifier. 1. 18. Whenever this thing smashes into Uthgrim and actually hits him, you do notice that that slimy thing that they have covering their body comes off and sticks to you as well. Not you, it's stuck to Uthgrim because he actually hit Uthgrim. For you, it's just on your shield, same as because it didn't hit you, it hit your shield.
Is this slimy sticky shit doing damage to him? Like, is it caustic?
Doesn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to be reacting to it. Doesn't seem to be burning him. Doesn't seem to be hurting him. So, doesn't seem to be doing anything. That is their turn. The rest of them can't really get in, so it goes top of the round. You.
Quills.
Okay.
Which ones have been hit?
Which ones have been hit? This one.
Okay. And the other 2?
This got hit with your quills.
Yeah.
This guy got hit with Tybalt. This guy got hit with Uthgrim.
And the other one?
Thrash.
The first 2 are each getting 3 quills apiece. On top of the damage they're already taking from not pulling out quills.
Okay. Again, as always, undead don't seem to react too much to it. You'll know whenever they're affected, whenever they actually stop moving, and in this case, fall into a puddle of slime and ooze.
And bone chunks.
And no, there's no chunks in it, it's just slime and ooze.
So there's no bones?
No, just slime and ooze.
Weird.
And you're keeping your position, so it goes to Chasen's turn. Fire seemed to work really well. Let's try the acid splash. Not a critical hit. Boo, burns, but it's still a hit. For 5 damage to these two. Acid Splash seems to have an effect on them, not as good as the Firebolt did, but still seems to have an effect nevertheless. And then it goes to, after Chasen, it goes down to Uthgrim. The one that hit Uthgrim is going to Reckless Attack and Smashy Smashy. Reckless Attack gives me a critical hit. 2d8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12 damage. One, specifically, this one right here, looks really badly injured just because of the amount of open gashes you can see on his body. 1 or 2 more hits and this one here will drop. If for no other reason than the amount of open wounds and gashes and deep cuts and such that the battle axe is digging into him with. And then I will shove to knock his ass down. Successfully done. He's prone as well. And then it goes to Tybalt. When he's prone, this one takes up position. Tybalt's going to stab the one that just went into that position since he's already weakened. Tybalt got a critical hit. And a spear does a d6 damage, I believe I said. It is. So 2d6 plus 3. Maximum damage, 15 damage. Look at that. He stabs this one all the way through. The spear goes in one side and comes out the other. This thing is badly injured from what you can tell. And after Tybalt goes, it goes to the enemies. Since they're not down, the two that are not down are going to try to shove their way into the room. So strength check against you. Strength check against Uthgrim. They don't get past Uthgrim at all.
Does they do me too with a 19?
Yeah. The one that he shoved down to the ground is standing up and trying to shove his way in against Uthgrim, which he actually manages to shove Uthgrim back, which he bangs into Tybalt, and then he manages to get into the room. To about here, at which point he's then going to try to attack. This one can now come in, gets in through the opening, and is going to attack either Tybalt or Uthgrim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 goes to Uthgrim. Has the advantage on the attack roll. That's a successful hit. 1d8 plus 1 damage, I believe, is their damage. It is, so 6 damage to Uthgrim. And it is a that. More slime comes off on them. That is their turns. Tyrant, you have top initiative. The situation doesn't look great.
Okay. Where are we now that all my quills have taken more damage?
They're still all in the same spot.
Because the quills leave more damage every round.
I know. Still 4 of them. 2 directly in front of you, 2 are in the room.
Tybalt and Chase can get those two in there. It's already really fucking hurt. And I am not moving to go get them because I need to be barrier protector. Well,
And maintaining your barrier.
yeah. That's what I said I would do.
You hear from Uthgrim. Little Red Man, the ones in the room are yours.
Damn. 4 to whatever one's fresh.
This is the freshest one. This one hasn't been hurt yet.
Oh. Well, damn. Okay. The other 2 down in front of me have?
This one and this one are both severely. This one is not as bad. This one and this one look like they're barely standing.
Yeah. I may be holding them back, but I'm not letting a fresh zombie go with my friend. So 3 to the 1 by him.
This one?
Note down. The first one. Yeah.
Okay.
And 4 to the one that's less injured in front of me.
This one.
Yes.
Okay. And Jason's turn.
Firebolt.
2 of them, I want to injure both of them. Acid splash. And this one, right here, melts into a puddle of slime and ooze.
Oh, nasty.
This one's still fresh. And that's Jason's turn, who will then take his move action to go whoop, 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 whoop. So it's 7 feet. So we're looking at 14. And then whoop, 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 whoop.
Hide behind the dragon carcass.
Yep.
Chicken shit.
He's a fucking wizard. What do you expect?
Considering he just took down a damn dragon, some balls.
He was in this room over here hiding, stuck in roots and vines. He's doing what a wizard does. I'm going to be over here, guys. Fireball, fireball, fireball.
It's going to take a while to realize he's actually powerful, huh?
He's not that powerful. He's only fucking 3rd level. And that was Jason's turn. Who's Grim? Step back into position and attack the one that hasn't been hurt that much, the fresher looking of the two. Reckless attack for the better chance of getting a natural 20. No natural 20, but a successful hit, nevertheless. For 11 damage. That's Grim's turn. Tybalt. Face to face with the zombie. Tybalt will Eldritch Blast it. And will... I've used one repelling blast. I don't want to use the other one. I can't have the zombie to be that close. So... I don't know if I should use it. Not going to use it. Eldritch Blast. Successful hit. For 10 damage. Which actually causes this one to melt into a pile of slime and ooze.
There's no more in the room, and Jason is way over there hiding.
Yep.
Behind a dragon tail.
Behind a dragon tail. And then it goes to their turn. They will... One's going to try to shove its way in against you.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is going to attack you.
17 for my strength check.
It shoves you down.
Damn. Down or back?
Back and down a little bit. And then it comes in on top of you for its turn.
On top?
Yeah, basically it shoves you in, you stumble back a few feet and you hit the ground, and then it's basically coming in and dropping on top of you like it's going to try to actually attack you on its next turn, now that it'll have an advantage against you. This one here, seeing that it has an opening, which was at the same time, is still going to try to attack you, so it's coming in, because I already said it was attacking you, dropping down on top of you and attacking you. It has advantage. You don't get your shield. Armor class?
Why don't I get my shield? It's on top of me.
True. That is a good point. You do. 16, right?
Yes.
Hit.
Got a natural 20.
17 plus
Oh.
their attack roll. So take 5 damage and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom?
Yep.
That is not good. At least I have a proficiency.
You only took 7 damage.
17 with my proficiency. Do I add my bonus to that?
Does it say yes?
Yes.
Then you add your proficiency and your wisdom modifier.
Okay. So 17, 18, 20.
Yep. You've got some of the slime on you as well. That's all it is. You notice that it's leaving slime on you whenever it hits you, and take 7 damage.
You said 5.
Did I say 5? Did I say 5? I must have said 5. 5 damage. And
I swear you said 5.
then take 5.
If I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
It's not that big a deal. There's only 2 left, and the odds are not in their favor to succeed. That was their turn. You have top initiative. You got 2 of them on you.
Quills. That's all I can do. I'm pinned. They each get cooled at 4.
Okay. And it goes to Jason's go.
Can I effectively turtle in this position?
Not really, because your shield is on top of you, and it's the only thing keeping you kind of remotely fresh and safe.
Fresh?
Yeah. As in fresh with hit points, you haven't taken a lot of damage.
Or you just led us on to believe that this slime possibly turns you?
Possibly. Jason's coming back into the room and seeing 1 on top of you, and 2 on top of you. He's going to firebolt one of them. Natural 20. Firebolt does a D10. Natural 20 gives me an extra D10, and they have a vulnerability, so I double my damage dice. So, 11, 18 damage to the 1 on top of you, which will be, I didn't call, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18 damage. Severely wounded. Big holes through it. You actually see part of it burn away in front of your eyes as some of the slime and blood and guts pour into your face and covers you in this unpleasant smell, for lack of a better term. Then it goes to Uthgrim's turn. He's just going to haul off and axe one. The one that just got firebolted. Reckless attack. Hit. 1d8 plus 4. 5 damage. Minimum damage. That sucks. But it's enough. It turns to a puddle of slime on top of you. Tybalt's turn. Impale the other one with, no, he's just going to Eldritch Blast the other one. Hit. 6 damage. And it turns into a puddle of slime on top of you.
I'm looking around. Guys? Guys?
Jason goes over and helps you up.
No, don't touch me.
What?
Don't touch me. Don't touch my shield. Use my shield to remove all the slime. It could be contaminating.
I don't know what this stuff is.
1 second. It's what? How many minutes for 1 minute to swap?
1 minute per spell level.
So level 1 would be
1 minute of meditation.
Would I be able, if I detect poison and disease, can I detect on more than 1 person?
What's the spell called?
Detect poison and disease.
Let me check. I think it might only be 1 person. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Within 30 feet of you, the duration you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You can also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by more than a foot of stone. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm concentrating, swapping out for a minute. Casting that. Checking on Uthgrim.
All those piles of slime,
Yeah?
disease. Uthgrim's got it. You got it. It's the slime. The slime is infectious. You got to get rid of it.
Guys?
Does it tell you the kind? You can also identify the kind of poison and poisonous creature. You know it as olive slime, but you don't know what it does. But it's infectious and contagious.
Guys?
Well,
Whatever this is, I know it's olive slime.
that gives the wizard a reroll.
I know it's contagious and infectious, and I'm infected, as is Uthgrim.
It's going to take over your mind and turn you into one of those creatures. You need to get it all off of you. So wherever it's on you, get it off of you. Get your armor off, wipe it off with your rag, whatever.
Shed clothes. Uthgrim is bare-chested. He can't take it off of him, though.
You can wipe it off with a rag or something.
Do I still have to, lesser restoration us?
I don't think so.
Do you have
Uthgrim's just going to start taking some of the skins that he has and starts wiping the stuff off of them.
Use some of the... He throws Jason a squirrel skin. Am I missing anywhere?
Jason will take a look. Wipes off a little bit more. You're good. Give your shield a good washing before you try to grab it and use it again.
The front of it, at least.
Let's see here. Any amount of all slime that remains unconscious of the potential victim for more than 2 minutes charms the victim and alters their thinking patterns so that their main concern is to keep the slime safe. If the all slime is not noticed and remains within 2 minutes, the creature loses 1 point of con and is infested. If it loses 1 point of con immediately when the infestation begins, and another 1d6 con at the end of 24-hour period. So there's a chance Uthgrim might get that 2-minute mark because he already had it on him for a couple of rounds.
If he starts
And then
doing
you
that?
meditate for a minute. So it'll take him 1d20 rounds to wipe them all off. 11. Yep. It'll hit him. He'll lose a point of constitution immediately when the infestation begins, and another 1d6 points of con at the end of the 24-hour period as the skin, muscle, and organ slime. The organ regains hit points. With that, the host must double his normal food intake. All slime can be burned away, cut away, frozen, anything that causes damage. Slime heals the host for 4. Greater restoration ends the all slime's charm effect. For 2 minutes during that time, the victim can cooperate and attempt to remove the slime.
Greater restoration. My lesser restoration says removes disease.
Yeah, this is more than just a normal disease, though. This is not a standard one. This is a creature-based disease. When the infestation begins, and add another 1d6 at the end of each 24 period as the growing olive slime replaces the creature's skin, muscles, and organs with olive slime. The olive slime gains hit points equal to the number of constitution points lost by the victim. The host must double its normal intake for that time. Also, the host does not recover hit points or hit dice as long as if the host con drops to 0, they die. 5 minutes later, they become an olive zombie. All slime can be burned away, cut away, or frozen. Anything that damages the olive slime deals half damage to the host before doubling for vulnerability. So it looks like it's taken root in him. As you can see, the olive slime kind of set in a little bit and takes root before he gets rid of all of it, and he just can't seem to get that last little bit off on his chest. Jason looks because of how good he rolled. I'm sorry, Uthgrim. We need to cut that out of you, or I can burn it out. Your choice.
Burn.
Burn it. Firebolt? These things show the vulnerability to fire.
Burn all the slime.
Firebolts each of the puddles. Firebolts your shield. And goes to Uthgrim. You might need to heal him, Chiron.
I have berries.
You ready? Just do it.
Stop wasting time.
Firebolt! Uthgrim is not going to dodge, so I have an advantage to get a natural 20, unfortunately. Nope, I just hit. Does a d10 damage. Does 4 damage. Uthgrim lost 1 temporary point of con. So I'm just going to make a quick note of that just so I don't forget. The host constitution drops on. The host must retake. What is the hit points of this thing? I think it's equal to the con. Equal to the constitution loss. It only has 1 hit point and it just took 4 damage, 8 damage because it has a 4 11 damage for that. So yeah, he burns away the last of it, and Uthgrim takes 4 damage from the firebolt. And let's check on lesser restoration, because that's the second half of what you're doing.
I'm looking at him. You know Olive Slime, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I read it in some books.
Okay, so if it's all removed,
then you're fine.
What if it already sets in and then you remove it?
Then you're fine. Because it's killed. What happens is the olive slime acts like a parasite. It gets into you. It
Like a symbiote?
it necrotizes your flesh and it takes over your organs and it slowly kills you. And when it kills you, you come back as one of those, as he points to one of the puddles that got burned away. Now, if you can burn off the olive slime and you can get rid of it, you can save the host. The problem is saving the host can, in a lot of cases, kill the host. Because you got to cut it out or burn it out or freeze it out. But because we caught it so early, we can get rid of it and save the host. The problem is if you are in a place and you get caught by it, by the time they realize what's going on with it,
I'm already defensive.
You're already too defensive to keep it, and on top of that,
How many hours has it been? My hide's okay? My hide's...
Yeah, you seem to be fine. We caught it early. That's the only saving grace. Is the fact that I actually know what this stuff is. I've read about it before. Lesser restoration. You touch a creature, and it can either end one disease or one condition. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. So he doesn't get that constitution point back.
Billy screw, however long it takes to heal.
No, you don't heal it.
I thought you said temporary.
It loses 1 con immediately. So you don't get that point back. You'll have to cast something like Greater Restoration, I imagine.
No, we really do need to get into that Druid Grove.
Let me check Greater Restoration, see how that works now. Greater Restoration. You or a creature you touch becomes... You imbue a creature you touch with positive energy to undo debilitating effects. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1, or end any one of the following effects. One effect can be charm, petrified poison, curse, any reduction to a target ability score. One effect, yeah. This is not. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or one of the following effects. Any reduction to one of the target's ability scores. One effect reducing the target's. So yeah, that would restore the con if you can get a greater restoration on him. Because it's an effect that happened that caused the reduction of his con. But if you don't get a greater restoration, it's forever a 15.
Alright guys, let's finish skinning this damn thing and we'll head into the Druid Grove. I'm looking at Grim. Do you want to come with us?
Will they be able to heal me?
Good chance of it. Master Druid's almost always in there.
Then yes, I would.
This has infected you on a level I can't heal.
So you're going to take a little bit and finish
cleaning my stuff so I can put my armor back on.
By the time you guys finish getting the hide, Jason is looking at you guys going, I need an hour. I'm going to try to get back some of my mana.
Do you want to just trek from here directly into the woods?
I think we should. I don't think there's anything else in these rooms we need. Rydolf was a bust, but Uthgrim knows and told us how to find Cragmaw Castle. Uthgrim's got the vengeance on his dragon, and, well, he helped us keep us alive. I'm okay with helping him undo the damage this slime did to him. I don't know about you, but I don't see a purpose to continue exploring these ruins.
No, let's just load up the horses and
Except all of slime comes from somewhere, which means at least one of these buildings houses the main
probably
slime.
The plants. I'll send the druids back for it.
Because there's going to be a main patch somewhere of the olive slime itself, and that's what's infesting people. People are walking into it, getting hit with it, and then are turning. and then they come back here because that's where the parasitic daddy is.
It's probably one of those plants, and if
There's a bunch of buildings. It could be anywhere.
that's why I said if I warn the druids, they'll be able to come back and pick through it. This is still their area technically.
I think having the druids come through here to pick on what's causing the plants to rebel, they might be able to solve it, as opposed to us, but we'll just have to burn them all
Yeah, I don't want to ruin this place.
more than it already is. Finish that up. I'm going to try to recover a little bit of my magic, and then we'll take off and head right into the woods.
Tipples, you start getting the lower half, we'll meet in the middle.
You will. Let's see here. Short rest once a day. Recover 1/2 my level in spell slots. So 1/2 of 3 is 1 spell slot, giving me 2 mana back. So I've effectively only spent 7 mana. After a couple more hours, you guys are done. You got everything all patched up and all skinned and everything else. And you have one final little bit of problem.
What?
Your passive perception lets you spot through an arrow slit in one of the windows.
Mm-hmm.
You see robed people coming towards the tower. A pretty good-sized band of them, to be honest. It looks like they were initially trying to somewhat sneak, but they did not roll good enough on their stealth check. And you can see them at the moment in the foliage coming towards the tower.
I think they made a branch crack or something.
They made a branch crack. You spotted them in the tree line and some of the vegetation and such.
In case it's one of my friends, I'm assuming as druids
you
normally.
can actually see that it's far from your friends. They don't look anything like any of the druids you've ever seen, nor are they dressed in anything that would resemble any of the druids that you work with. Specifically, what you're seeing for the way they're dressed.
Dragon cultists.
Very well could be, or maybe people that want to be dragon cultists, considering, where you are. One of them looks like that. This weird spiny headpiece that's acting as a helmet to protect their face. Let's see here.
I'm stopping skinning. Going down to chasing.
They don't exactly have like flowing robes on, but they do have black tunics, armor, and most of them have some type of a mask on. And they do have mantles, and they look like they were here to try to do something with the dragon, most likely, if for nothing other than one of the guys has a very elaborate headpiece. Jason looks up. Creates a minor illusion of the word what?
Turn head so he looks down, seeing what I'm seeing. I'm going to breath weapon. You firebolt.
Makes a minor illusion of a dragon.
Wouldn't that waste your mana?
Minor illusion, first grade spell. Minor illusion then changes. You breath weapon. I put the first grade spell, minor illusion up. It's got sound, video, and you actually do damage. They'll buy it. Might make them run.
Aiming at the slit.
Minor illusion of the dragon coming up and then down and going, "Leave this place, it's mine!"
Breath weapon.
First things first, the minor illusion. Because I need to make sure they buy it, because otherwise they're going to know it's you guys, right? Minor illusion costs 2 mana, bringing me back up to 9 mana spent.
Considering they're all in the line, there's a good chance a lot of these guys can get hit.
Yeah. Minor illusion. can create sound and image because I'm a specialist. Yeah. Create an image and object with creatures. They don't get a saving throw unless they take an action to examine it. So unless they take time to examine this, they don't get an action. They just think there's a fucking dragon in front of them.
And why would anybody take the time to go, I do not believe this dragon is real?
Especially since it has sound and visual, and there's actually a breath weapon coming out. So there's more than one piece of reality to this thing. So now tell me your breath weapons.
Acid 2d6, 5 feet by 30 feet.
5
It's
feet
effectively a line, but
5 feet.
5-foot cylinder.
5 feet by 30 feet.
So 5 of them are gonna get melted.
This is bad for them. Because there's your 5 feet by 30 feet. I don't know why it does that weird little L shape, but 1, 2, 3, 4.
And that other one might get the edge of it.
No, this one won't, because you only get 5 feet wide, and one of these squares is 10 feet.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if he's close enough, he might get singed or something.
I still don't understand why it does that fucking little boxy thing there at the bottom.
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. But 1, 2, 3, 4. You can flat up hit 4. What's the saving throw they have to make? Dex save versus.
I think it's Dex. You don't have it written down.
It is Dex.
But it's 13.
Dex for 13. Cultist number 1, cultist number 2, cultist number 3, cultist number 4. One of them gets half damage. The other ones get full damage.
11.
11? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 1, 2, 3 get full damage. One gets half damage, so one gets 5. 2 of them are still standing up. And they're immediately making a morale check.
So not just fucking book it?
And their morale tells them to just fucking run, because they made their morale save, but the smart thing to do in this case, from their perspective, is to run.
This is not the dragon they were expecting.
The dragon is not coming out on happy terms. They wanted it, so they're running, because that's the smart thing to do, not the stupid thing to do. So these 4 are diddly-on dead. These 2 fucking boot it, and this one guy here only took half damage, fucking boots it.
Kind of.
So you get 75, and then you get 75 cut in half is 37. Because they're fucking booting it, and they're leaving. They're not sticking around. They're not that stupid. They're just going, yeah, fuck this shit. The dragon's not happy, guys. That solves that problem. You hear from Jason.
How much gold is there?
150 gold coins.
And silver?
800.
Fuck. We're gonna be carrying a lot of fucking gold again.
And a couple other things. So, you ready to write down your hoard?
1 second. I just need to...
Now, with an 800 plus, so you got 950 divided by 50, you're looking at 20 pounds of weight just in coins.
That's fine. Because it's going divided between us, so that's 5 pounds each.
Yeah. You got the 800 silver, 150 gold.
800... Wait! I just said I wasn't even ready!
Sorry.
God, you jumped the gun.
Shona. And Uthgrim is taking that battle axe that was found. And
Second, I can write down who we all are. So Kieran, Tybalt, Jason,
Wizard spellbook has been found.
Grim.
Grim.
Okay, so 800 silver, so that's 200 silver apiece.
So that's only 4 pounds right there. And then 150 divided by 4.
25 divided by 4, 20, so
It's 37 gold, and then one person gets 1. Or one person, yes, 37 gold each. And then there's 2 gold left over.
I think him and Uthgrim both, pointing at Jason, and Uthgrim each get 1 extra gold. Uthgrim didn't have to, and you wasted a lot of fucking mana. Even though you ran away and set the zombies on fire.
Hey, they melted. That was a good move. I knew exactly what I was doing.
You're a terrible liar.
Actually, if I try, I'm not. Tybalt goes, I can agree with them too, getting the extra gold.
Okay. And you got the axe.
After you get everything out, are you going to backtrack the way you got to the tower to get back to your horses?
That's all it was in the horde?
Yeah.
I just have it written down. Yeah, we're backtracking the way we came, but without going through the house.
Yeah, so you're taking the same route that you already know is safe. You can get back to the horses without a problem.
Do you think we should ride through the night and stretch ourselves a little bit?
Yes, you hear from Jason. Yes, I do. That would be the best thing to do.
Okay, let's go.
And
I'll lead because I know the paths.
And once you leave the Thundertree ruins, the cultists that were there, they're not coming after you guys.
How are we dividing the hide, by the way?
Divide it later. You hear from Jason. Just get it out to where we're going for now. Now, here's the thing. You go from Thundertree to your grove. The biggest concern is the giant river that is pretty damn wide.
There has to be a branch point
That's
someplace.
5 miles, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like 600 feet wide. There are some thinner spots, but not to way the fuck over here.
Yeah, but there might be a log or something that a druid made.
Yeah. So, are you going to take them into the woods here and follow the line here?
Yeah.
And
because from there I just go straight up, and there's my grove.
Yeah, you just go straight up into here.
Yeah. So we can literally just follow the river.
And for the most part, you just have to cross over in a couple spots because you have to get to here.
Yeah.
So how long is that going to take you? Because you will inevitably find a spot where a druid has made a natural path to cross the river.
Yeah.
The horses can travel because you're traveling with them. You're not going to have your speed reduced more than the 1/3 that you're going to have it reduced naturally. Without a druid, your speed would be reduced to 1.
Would it be reduced 1/3 the entire way because you have a huge bank?
Yeah, you can take the bank, but it's still going. I'm just going to average it out, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes. 35 miles. 35 miles, and you're traveling at 2/3 of your speed because you're a druid and you know the area. So your speed isn't going to be reduced to half or less. So 2/3 of a horse's traveling speed is walking pace. So that's 5. So that'll be 3.75. So
Because obviously there's some way for horses to get over the river if
you're
they
traveling
were
at
in there with Tybalt, or not Tybalt, Sildar.
9.3 hours to get to taking the most direct route you can with the horse, because normally you would have your speed reduced by going by foot, and your speed by foot, you're still traveling faster on the horse than you would on foot, because on foot your speed goes down to 2 miles an hour.
I'm looking at the guys. We're probably going to be in here for 8 to 10 hours, maybe a little bit longer.
That's fine. We still have lots of the day left. It'll be a few hours past sundown. That's fine. You hear from Tybalt. That's more than acceptable.
Every now and then, if I hear something in the woods, because we're so close to the grove, I'm setting off what would be the effective communication whistle between the other druids.
Yeah, so they know you're there, not to shoot you with an arrow.
Yeah. And if they are there, to come out.
So let's take a look here. 9 hours, you're gonna get you only get to, basically you can see the crossing where you want to cross over. You're about to the crossing when you're just getting ready to do the little warning whistle, and an arrow lands in the ground in front of all of you. Uthgrim immediately grabs his shield and goes for his axe.
Stop.
Because it's been raining and you're hooded and everything else, it's hard to see who you are. You hear a sound of what looks like 2 druids coming out of the trees. You see one druid coming out, another one kind of comes out and
over to the other tree.
It looks as if it's some type of a what's a creature that can go through trees really fast?
Squirrels, chipmunks, monkeys.
Yeah, it's like a chipmunk. You just see and drop, and in mid-air after it drops off a branch, you see it land as an elf.
Is it my friend?
No, it's just another one of the wood elves in the area. And you see another human standing there that comes out of the tree on its own, bow in hand. Kyron, you hear from the wood elf.
Is Elkan still in the grove?
Elkan hasn't been here for a 10-day.
He already left.
Why are you back with outsiders?
We need to talk to Master. We need to talk to Master in a bad way. And we're sick.
Sick how? You hear from the wood elf. You hear from the human. Is it something contagious? Is it something that's going to infest the trees?
No. We've gotten rid of the contagion. It was.
I'll take him. Stay and keep guard.
What do you mean I'll take him?
I'll take you in.
I don't need to be taken in. I know where I'm going.
I know you know where you're going. The outsiders I don't trust.
They're my friends.
I get that, Kieran. They're not my friends.
When did you become so untrusting?
Always untrusting of outsiders. Especially one that carries so many axes. He just walks with you. His bow is not even out. It's just slung over his shoulder. And over the next few hours, you guys can get all the way into the grove as you see more and more druids being exposed, coming in. You can see hammocks and walkways amongst the trees. Little grove and outgoings and outgroves, literally. It's very tranquil for your character to finally be home after all this running around and near dying and killing a fucking dragon. But it's nice to be home. You can get into your main circle, and you can see Elkan there. Not Elkan, the master What was his name? I don't remember the name I gave him.
Valpator.
Valpator. You can see him just sitting on.
Or Vapator, sorry.
Yeah, it was Valpator. You can see him sitting on effectively his throne of antlers and wood and bones and skins.
Vapator.
Kieran, so your travels have treated you well?
I come bearing good news and bad news. And some more bad news.
Let us start with the bad news then. Sit.
He sits on one of the stumps.
Jason sits.
He's been hurt.
Uthram stands. Tybalt sits.
I'm looking at Uthram. Sit.
Rather stand.
Sit.
Standing is fine.
Sit. It's rude.
Let him stand if he wishes to stand.
He's been injured.
Injured how?
Olive slime covered zombies.
I have heard of them, but I don't know much about them.
Their slime eats into your system and controls you. He's damaged on a level I can't
those
heal.
fungi that are abominations.
Yes, and the worms that attack praying mantises and lead them to their own death.
I should be able to help with that.
My lesser restoration is not enough.
Then I shall try a greater restoration. If it does not work, you will have to seek powerful clerics in Neverwinter. I do not have anything greater than 5th grade magic. Well, I would have to actually cast a spell upon you. Some barbarians dislike that.
He said he's okay.
I'm okay with it if you'll make me better. Then come here. Vaptor stands up and meets him halfway. Cast Greater Restoration on him, which will correct the 1 damage that was done. I feel much better. Thank you.
I'm eating one of my berries to close off any wounds I do have.
Was Tybalt damaged? Not enough to bother with a berry or anything.
Tybalt, take 1. I'm going to have to recast them soon anyways. Take as many as you need.
Takes us 2. Brr.
Jason, did you take either of yours?
I was not injured.
Did you hit?
Yeah. And?
Looking at that door. Remember the druid that was kicked out when I started?
Yes.
He's around.
I'm aware. He stayed around this area.
No, worse than that. He's been staying in Phandelver. He's been bumming their food under the guise that he is a druid, so he's helping them. He has not done anything for their fields, nothing for their crops, nothing for their animals, has only healed a handful of people.
Waste of potential.
He has taken their food and shelter without premise. And he is currently residing in the Phandelver ruins, which is where we just came from, after we just killed a green dragon.
That's impressive. To kill a dragon when being so inexperienced as you are, that is a great accomplishment.
Problem is, this slime is there. And there's plant monsters, and Rydolph says he's fixing it, but we all know he's not fucking doing it.
Do you know what type of plant monsters?
We didn't get a chance to look.
Well, I can investigate it, and I will.
Is there any way that you could send a druid, or see if any of the ones that have newly graduated with I, that might want to go to Phandelver and actually be their live-in?
Well, There's 7 others aside from you and your friend that have finished their training. I shall bring them here tonight and ask them, and we'll have your answer in the morning. In the meantime, please, take rest in some hammocks. Sleep well. Get some rest.
If they will, they can come with us tomorrow.
Are you leaving that soon? You hear from Jason. We don't have a choice. We still have things to do.
And there's still somebody that is important to us missing.
Well, I will go talk to the recent graduates. See if any of them would like to go to Phandelver with you. Go rest. Eat. Get some well-deserved sleep.
I'm going into the center area where I know there's food and gorging.
Uskrim will eat. Tybalt gorges as well. Jason will eat.
Eat that, it's good.
And what are you doing for the remainder of that night? Just relaxing?
Sewing the dragon skin onto my cloak. And talking to Uthgrim, how do you want this divided? Do you care if we just take the wings?
Divide it as evenly as we can. I don't care about the wings.
So, hides are virtually useless if they're not kept intact. Wings are not considered important.
The hide will be useful to sell in Neverwinter. People like using that for decorations and armor.
I'm looking over at the other guys. Are you okay with hide scraps and giving him the main chunk of it to sell? Because it's virtually useless in pieces.
I'm fine with it. You hear from Jason. That doesn't concern me at all. I've already made more off this trip than I ever would have dreamed.
I'm gonna, after I'm done sewing my cloak together, which shouldn't take too terribly long,
Oh god, no.
I'm going over, harvesting the wing bits, putting them all together, binding them so they're like, you know how you have a dragon's wing, you take all the webbing out, it just looks like a bunch of sticks?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm cutting those all apart and drying them as is. So I can use them for like ornaments, stabs. Because a big bone from a dragon wing is still a quarterstaff.
That's a big piece of weapon right there.
Cut down and have the scales tied over top of it, perfect quarterstaff. Because bone is fucking hard to break.
Especially dragon bone. Especially dragon bone.
So I'm bundling all that up as twigs. Taking a couple of the bigger scales that I can get from around the elbows. Because most hides cut off around here. Because it's hard to get the arms. And I'm taking some talons. And I'm giving an arm piece and a leg piece to each of Jason and Tybalt. So they got a good chunk of hide that would wrap around them.
So, Jason and Tybalt each have a
arm and leg equivalent of hide.
Arm and leg dragon hide.
Now I'm bundling the rest of the hide up. Any loose scales that are on the hide that would normally be knocked off, I'm keeping for myself. And obviously I'll share it with them once I start crafting things. But Jason said he wants a bookcase.
Yeah, book wrapping for his spell book, so that way he can wrap it up, so that way even in the most torrential downpour, if something was to happen and it was to fly out of his bag, and instead of having to wrap it in 5 pieces of leather like he does now, 1 piece of dragon hide.
I'm taking some of the thinnest.
And what does Uthgrim get?
The whole rest of the hide.
So, chest and abdomen.
Chest, abdomen, back, tail, and top of head. Where he didn't cut it off, then the back, the way the dragon landed.
Yeah.
We cut up this way, and top mandibles pulled back.
And that's a large dragon. So that is quite a bit of dragon hide. That'll sell for a really good chunk of change. That'll sell for hundreds of gold. He's just picking up pieces of it. You see him take out, reaches over, grabs one of Tybalt's knives, starts working on one of the pieces of hide, the tail piece. He's basically making dragon scale greaves that he can wrap around his calves.
He'd probably use a part of the leg then, because, as I said, the tail and the head, the body kept intact, is what you need. And there's still pieces up here left.
Yeah, he'll just use some of those leftover hunks to make dragon scale calf guards. They don't actually give you an armor class increase, it's just for aesthetic purposes. But
I'm going to grab some of the underbelly skin myself and start attaching it to some of my armor. Because you know how they have those big long scales?
yep.
Yeah. Outside, same as my greaves.
Luthrum will look at you. Thank you for helping me dispatch the dragon. My clan is avenged.
Going over to the fire, I'm getting some stuff from the table. Basically, I'm getting hops, yeast, and fungus. I have a pot that I've been carrying. I empty out my water skin, which does not contain water. It contains a shit ton of dragon blood.
You see Uskrim goes over, takes his hand axe, puts the blade side of it into the fire, just leaves it there for a few minutes.
I'm basically making dragon spirits.
Fermenting it and drying it out and
yeah,
rendering it down. After a good 20 minutes, he takes the blade, the hand axe out, goes over to his forearm, pushes the nice red hot blade of his hand axe onto his forearm to make a nice little burn scar on his arm. And you see him repeat the process 4 times.
Why 4?
Father, mother, siblings.
May I see?
Just 4 hand axe burn scars.
To symbolize their passing?
Yes. And then I've avenged them.
I have an idea.
They died for nothing. They died for no valor.
My druid is going to the fire with some of the leftover hide, burning it, pulverizing the scales in a mortar and pestle. Because there'd be tons around. Burn the ashes again. Come back, give me your arm.
Passes you his left arm.
Mixes it with honey and a little bit of sap. It's going to sting. A little bit of salt. Put it in the wounds. Tie it up in a leaf and hand it to him. If you put that in it every day, the scars will come out black. With the ashes of the thing that you avenged for them.
Thank you. He will follow that process every day.
What they used to do to stain old scarification.
Yep.
If you have regular ashes that are white, they'll come out white. If you blacken them by covering them in soot, they'll be black.
You hear from
Salt
Tybalt.
irritates the skin, makes the scar bigger.
You hear from Tybalt as he's sitting back and eating. So what's the play? Tonight we're resting. Tomorrow we're seeing if we're getting any
Help.
younglings that are going to Phandelver to take over. On the way back, I say we stop at Cragmaw Castle. They can do the cross-country 10 miles to Phandelver on their own, can't they?
I wouldn't trust it.
Well,
Besides, we have to go back, tell Sildar what we're doing. Sildar might be healed enough to come with us. I'm not being his friggin' beck and call. Frankly, I give 0 shits about that gnome. Dwarf thing.
You hear from Jason, I frankly don't care too much about Gundren myself, but my concern is Black Spider. Black Spider is a drow spellcaster.
How do you know he's a drow?
know about him.
Why didn't you tell us until now?
I didn't think the race mattered, but I have evidence that he wants us dead, or at least captured. He's not going to stop. And I can't leave a loose end. So Gundren be damned. When you start playing around with
I'm
lost
still stitching as we're talking, by the
lost caves and a means to make money, you're always going to have people that are going to try to take it from you. If he didn't protect it well enough, that's his own damn fault. My concern is his actions dragged me into this.
Yes, but we are also loaded down with a shit ton of gold, a shit ton of silver, a shit ton of hide. We need to store it in the inn.
Yes, we do. So, Tybalt, my suggestion is this. Tomorrow, we grab the younglings, we go to Phandelver. We talk to Sildar. If he's up to it, depending upon when we get back, we stay the night, and then we head out to the castle. Or we take off to the castle and camp on the road. You, if there's magic left available to you, heal Sildar up. One-armed or not, he's still a good combatant, and having him on our side would be beneficial.
I'm looking over at my master. You have no way of getting an arm reattached.
You can regrow it if you're a powerful cleric. Talk to Sildar, we drop off shit, and then we head up to Cragmaw Castle. We find Black Spider, and we kill him. Only then will we be able to continue moving around, going where we need to go, doing what we want to do. Till then, we'll have to watch our shoulder, always be looking over our shoulder and watching our back. And frankly, I don't like that. I don't like having loose ends. What do you pass them?
I've separated the wing into two pieces, stitched it together, and made a wrap for his book.
Excellent. Takes out a spell book.
Pull the drawstring, it'll tighten around the binding.
Puts it in, pulls it. Wraps one piece of leather binding around all of that. Excellent. I'll keep my book safe.
There's a flap underneath that folds in and covers your pages, so when it's closed.
So that's what I think we should do, Tybalt. Our goal, get to Phandelver, drop off our stuff, get Sildar, travel to Cragmaw, you heal him en route if possible, find Black Spider, kill Black Spider. Problem is, Black Spider's probably not at the castle, because that's where they took the dwarf, apparently. But we need to find out where the entrance to that cave is.
And get the rest of the map from that fucking dwarf.
Yeah. And then we have to go and find Black Spider there. So, we still have a lot left to do. A lot left to do. In the meantime, I have a book that used to belong to an obvious wizard. A lot of the pages he takes out the book are missing, as you can leaf through it and you see most of the pages are gone. Damaged beyond repair, flat up missing, ripped to the point where you can't see what the other half of the spell is.
Don't you wizards have abilities to repair those things?
No. That'd be amazing if we did.
I thought you could.
That spell no longer exists.
Doesn't mean he still wouldn't have heard stories.
Having an ability to recreate a book from scratch would be amazing. Have that kind of power would be great. But there are viable spells still in here.
Why don't you create your own spell to do that?
When I get a better understanding of how the weave works, I will. In the meantime, I'm going to spend the rest of tonight trying to decipher these notations so I can actually add his spells to whoever had this book to my own list without having to spend a damn fortune to do so.
If you're stuck on a cipher, ask Master. He might know.
Let's see here. To decipher wizard's notations, it takes 15 minus PC level minus wizard's level. So PC level minus Wizard's level. Well, he is a. Wizard's level was.
I think Sweet Mouse.
The Hershey's Kiss. 2, 15 minus 2 is 13.
What's our
Second level
one?
Wizard. 1 second. PC level 2, Wizard level 6 is 4, so that's a difference of. Yeah, so the closer I am, the easier it's going to be. So 15, 16, 17. I can make an Arcana 17, which isn't that difficult considering 12 plus 5, just barely, still enough though. So I will be able to decipher it, and because I can decipher his notations, it's only going to cost me 10 gold per spell level, or 10 gold per spell to put it into the book instead of 50. And 1 hour per spell level as opposed to 2 hours per spell level. So it's going to save me a ton of time getting some of those spells into the book. And then I want to check that, and you guys leveled because you actually killed the dragon instead of just scaring it off.
I'm sorry.
They are now all up to level 4 because they killed the damn dragon. They were only supposed to have it run off, but they never let it actually successfully run away. Bastards. So they got you level. So we're going to stop it here. They're going to level up. Next time we come back, they'll be all level 4 characters and 2 sections of this campaign left to do. Let's see how well they do.